Find your way back home.
So hey everybody, it is Velocity Bros and I'm back with another video. I really don't post that much. I'm so sorry though. I never really post. But today I have a interesting video. It is a video to see how well my 92mm cooler does, as you can see right here. It's from ID Cooling. It costs about 18 bucks. Not too bad. Got it on Amazon, which is pretty good. You know, you get that Prime Day shipping and stuff. But yeah, it's actually a really nice cooler, but I won't spoil it. Today we're testing it with Cinebench R23. Yep, Cinebench R23 to see how she does with my Intel Core i3 12100F. Now the F SKUs, it doesn't matter. It's the same processor inside. It just means no integrated graphics, which means cheaper. So don't let that scare you away or change any. It doesn't affect any of these test results today. The only thing is the cooler. That's it. And it's in this deep cool case with plenty of airflow. As you can see, a bunch of fans, you know, decent intake, pretty good exhaust. And my GPU shouldn't matter. It's a GeForce, an EVGA GeForce GTX 1070, 8 gig. I bought it recently. I will be doing a review on that in a little bit, probably a little bit later, just because that works out better for me. And yeah, so we're gonna be testing this cooler out today and see if it really can hold up. Because to be honest with you, most people will skip this cooler because of its size. It looks small, it looks tiny, it looks puny, but don't let that fool you. Hey everyone. So this is the multi-core test on Cinebench R23. So I'm using this software because it's a really great way to test out your CPU to see how temps do. And as you can see right off the bat, at 100% CPU usage, we are looking at a package temperature about 55 degrees Celsius. And our wattage, we're pulling about 60 watts on the multi-core. This is normal because it's using all of the 4 cores. And by the way, this is an i3 12100F. So 4 cores, 8 threads. We're gonna have, we're gonna have a little bit of heat going on, but it's a quad core processor, so it's really not gonna pull too much wattage, and it's pretty efficient for being a quad core 2022, as it should be. And now you can see that the utilization is at 100%. The core clocks don't really matter too much for this test. We're more of looking at heat and consumption to see how this cooler is doing. And now the CPU cooler is getting about up to 1261 RPM here, which is a little high. And now, I mean, it's a little loud, but I feel like that's more like the case fans. But for a 92mm cooler, you're gonna be buying into something that has a little bit of noise, and because it's a smaller fan, it can't move as much air as a 120mm cooler. And then keep that in note. Keep that in the back of your brain, because it's not moving as much air, so it has to spin faster to keep up. Now, I bought this 92mm cooler because I, for one, was fitting it into a smaller case, and I needed that nice compact cooler. But I moved to a bigger case, and now I got the small little cooler in there, so it might be due for a change eventually, but it does the job. This is a quad-core processor, as I said many times before, so we're really not getting too bad temp-wise. Now our RPM is reaching about 1,360 on the max. Now our CPU has hit 60 degrees Celsius, which is below normal. I mean, well, below, not normal. What I'm trying to say is it's below the, it's way below the max. Like, you're not, 60 degrees Celsius is fine and perfect for the CPU. You're not going to have any problems with that. And some of the VRMs, I mean, they're on this motherboard. It's going to vary from motherboard to motherboard. Your motherboard might perform worse or might perform better. It all depends on which brand you buy and all that stuff, yada yada yada. But the CPU is holding up pretty well, and the cooler is doing a phenomenal job of keeping this little processor cool. So I sped this video up a little bit, and now we're at the end of the test for the multi-core, and we're gonna get about, let's see how many points we're gonna get. We're gonna get 7,819 points. I will check and make sure that is normal. It should be for this processor, which is good. So anyways, on to the single core test. So this is the single core test, and as you can see, our wattage is a lot lower. It's using one core as opposed to all 4 cores in the previous test. So we're looking at about 20 watts here. The temps are going to be lower.
This is single core, by the way.
That's what you should expect from a single core test. You're not using as much power because you're only using one core. So we're sitting at about a package temperature of about 42 degrees Celsius, 45, 46. We're probably going to hover around 43 to 46 here. Now the max, don't worry about the max there. That's from the previous test in the multi-core. So don't worry about that. The wattage is good. The core clocks is good. And as you can see, the CPU fan is not spinning as fast. It's because the temps are a lot lower. That's just how PCs work. You know, we don't really need to have the fans cranked up to max speed all the time because realistically, I could turn the CPU fan speed all the way up, but it's pointless because no one's in their right mind would run their PC fans at 100% all the time unless you get some really good headphones, which is obnoxious, and no one wants to listen. No one wants to listen to that. When you're gaming, you're trying to stay focused, and you don't need to be drowned. Like your game sounds don't need to be drowned out by an airplane noise, you know, PS4 Pro, PS4, you know, whatever, you know, that kind of noise. You don't want that whoosh noise, that loud, obnoxious noise. You don't want that. But just listening to this PC, I can't hear it. I mean, with a decent set of headphones, you're not gonna be able to hear it at all, unless you put your ear right up next to the thing. Now, I don't have a really good way to have you guys listen to how loud the thing is. You just have to trust me a little bit. It's really not that loud, and you're not going to notice it. It's not like obnoxious at all. And as you can see right here, stuff's pretty good. Yeah, temps are great, voltages are great, clocks are good, and yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. So as you guys saw from the test results, this thing was insane. It really was. It really proved its worth. I would recommend not using this cooler with like a 12600K. You're really gonna regret that, or any like 10600K, you know, 11600K. I'd probably stay away. I would go with something a little beefier. But for Core i3s, I mean, and Core i5 12400, 12400, 10400, 11400. I don't know why I'm pronouncing them in that order, but it's fine for that stuff. I mean, you're really not going to see too many temp differences. I mean, you're not really going to see anything that's going to be thermal throttling for the most part. You shouldn't see it as long as you're not, you know, as long as it's in a good case, you know, a decent case with decent airflow, decent exhaust, decent intake. And the only way you can really make this cooler better is if you strap another fan to it. And and get some really nice thermal paste. The thermal paste that comes with it, I'm pretty sure I used it, so it's pretty good. It does the job. And this CPU only pulls about 60 watts, 60, 70 watts when gaming anyways. So they're really not going to notice any problems with that. Cinebench was only pulling about 50, 60 watts, which is fine. It's 50 watts actually. 50, 55 watts. You're not going to see, it's not putting out a lot of heat. And it's because it's very efficient. And the cooler does a really good job though. I mean, most coolers in this price point are like these, they look like the Ryzen stock coolers, but they're worse. They're loud, they're cheap, and this is loads better than the Intel stock cooler that came with this. The new one, don't let that fool you. It's the same damn cooler. It performs the same exact way. It's terrible. It's awful. It's just awful. Stay away from it. Buy this instead. 18 bucks. You can't go wrong. ID cooling. I will leave the product link down in the description. And by the way, if I can, I'll make that affiliate code. So just a FYI. So I'll put the link in the description. It should be to Amazon. I'll probably try to find a couple other links, but I'm pretty sure they sell on Amazon. That's the easiest way to get this thing. And yeah, stay tuned. You know, if you like this video, let me know in the comments. You know, leave that like. You know, hit that subscribe button. You know, all the stuff that everyone says at the end of the video. You know, show some love to the creator. You know, if you enjoy watching this, because it supports me on my journey. Thank you guys.